Aunty Ji, get up and dance. Dun, dun, dun. Hi, I'm Zenobia Shroff. I'm an Indian American actress here. You watch me on YoIndiaTV.
Great to be seeing you, Zenobia. And for YoIndiaTV viewers, Zenobia Shroff is right here with us. And today we are virtually meeting her. Zenobia is an Indian-born American actress, not just known for her acting, but known for her dancing, known for her theater and acting in films, on soaps, and being a sketch comedian for I think over 3 decades. Wow.
Yes, it's coming to my nearly 40 years in show business. Yeah.
Wonderful. Welcome, Zenobia, to YoIndiaTV with me, Jasleen. How do you feel overall today?
How do I feel today?
Yes.
I feel good. Yeah, it's a beautiful spring day in New York, and I'm here to promote our movie. Very, very pleased about that. Yeah.
So which movie are we talking about here?
We are talking about This Tempting Madness.
Wow. I've heard the name.
Yeah, yeah. It's a psychological thriller based on a true story. And the star of it is Simone Ashley, who's I think right now doing the rounds with Devil Wears Prada too. And I play her mother, as I have played many mothers. And it's a deep psychological thriller based on a true story, and it also deals with memory, and what trauma can do to memory and how your memory can get affected or distorted. And it definitely deals with a multitude of those themes: memory, trauma, psychological abuse, and mental illness. Yeah.
Wonderful. So, I was just reading your bio and I saw that you were born in Bombay in a Parsi family, and then you guys moved to US.
No, you guys didn't move to US. I moved to US. The family is all there. I came to New York City with 2 bags and $500 and 2 suitcases, $500 and 6-month visa, and it's been 35 years. I'm still here.
So tell me a little more about your artistic taste. Like, I heard that you mastered Bharatanatyam, then you took interest in jazz music, and then finally jumped into theater and then moved on to, cinematography. So
Right.
how did this transition happen?
Yeah, it's a good question. I actually began my career in Mumbai, which was then Bombay, but my mother sent me to Bharatanatyam because she probably seemed to think that I have some talent in that area. So she sent me to Bharatanatyam. I did 8 years of Bharatanatyam. I almost came to, which was very rare for a Parsi girl in Mumbai growing up in the 70s. We were normally sent to ballet. But my mother took another route and sent me to Bharatanatyam. And then at 16, I became a commercial print model, and I had a pretty good career for like 7 years. And during that time, I switched to, Bharatanatyam. Then once I was a teenager, I was like, this is not hip enough. So I switched to jazz and modern, and I was dancing, and I was going to school still. My parents were very strict about the fact that I should not give up university. So simultaneously I was studying. I got a master's degree in psychology. I was going to be a therapist, but I was also dancing in shows, doing amateur theater. Pearl Padamsi, if you might have heard of, was my mentor, and she very much suggested that I come to America and study this more. And I was also in Shamak Davar's original group. Do you know who Shamak Davar is? I
think you started this dance school and then you did a national tour, musical tour.
I was his original dancer. I was one of the first 8 that ever made the company, or he made the company, and I was in it. And then we did a lot of shows. We did a ton of shows for a long time. And the last play I did in Mumbai under Pearl Padamsi was with Nasiruddin Shah and Ratna Pathak and Sabira Merchant. And then after that, actually, Shamak had got us some shows with Air India, and they gave us a ticket to New York instead of money. And so I used the ticket to come to acting school here. Yeah.
Wonderful. That's a great journey.
it is a great journey. And then I struggled a long time, but I became a theater actor here. Yes.
So tell me a little more about your Bollywood film Ek Main Aur Ek Tu opposite Imran Khan.
I played Kareena Kapoor's mother in that. I've played 14 South Asian mothers. So I made a movie called Little Zizu. It was on the Parsi community. It was very well received and did very well in India. Baman Irani was my husband. He was the lead. I guess we were both the leads. And it was written and directed by Suni Tarapurwala, who has pretty much written all of Meera Nair's screenplays. And Meera was one of the presenters of the movie as well. And that movie did very well in India, and I got a lot of offers off of that. And Ek Main Aur Ek Tu was one of the offers I got off of that. I was living in America, but I went back on a couple of occasions to shoot that, and it was a fun experience to do a full out Bollywood movie with a full out Bollywood. That song Aunty Ji went up the charts. It did very well, and it was fun. It was fun to do a big extravaganza.
Aunty Ji.
Yes,
and dance.
That's correct. Yes,
I remember that. Yeah. I'm a personal fan of that musical piece as well. Very nice.
Right.
Okay, so you belonging to Parsi family, and our viewers may not be all fully aware, particularly the Indian Americans, and the next generation, they are not fully aware of all the ethnicities back in India. So give us a little more background about who Parsis are and which culture among the Parsis is something that you would like to flaunt out to our viewers.
About Parsis.
Yeah, especially J.R.D. Tata.
Well, yes, and many more. We've been I think a very influential community. We've contributed to science and industry tremendously, and I think everybody knows Zoroastrians of India are called Parsis. And our story is quite legendary, that we came thousands of years ago on a boat because there was Muslim rule taking over Iran at the Persia at that time, and we found refuge on the shores of Gujarat in a place called Sanjan, and we've been very much part of Indian culture and Pakistani culture as well for thousands of years. Yeah.
Beautiful.
I would say that some parts of the community were heavily influenced by the British Raj, and we were maybe lighter skinned, etc. But I would say that we have a very philanthropic community and fairly affluent, and have contributed a tremendous amount to building India and building Mumbai. Yeah.
And which is your greatest festival?
Greatest festival?
Yes.
Which is you mean my favorite festival?
Yeah, that Parsis do.
Oh, we have our New Year, which comes about in August, and our calendar, I do believe, is not exactly like the regular calendar. It's on a lunar calendar, so the date changes every year. But we also have one in March, Navroz, which Jamshedji Navroz, which we just celebrated as well. Yeah.
Beautiful. So, moving on with your journey, I would like to ask you about the American medical drama series, The Resident. How you got associated with this soap and any fond memories?
It's not a soap opera. It's not a soap opera. It was a medical drama.
So how did you get associated with this drama, and any fond memories if you have?
Well, I made a movie called The Big Sick, actually, which you might have heard of, which was
I did hear of Big Sick.
Yeah, it was
movie. Yes,
it was a big hit. I played Anupam Kher's wife, and after that, I got a lot of offers, including The Affair on Showtime and The Resident. And actually, I was in The Affair for 2 years. The Resident, I only did 2 episodes. I played Manish Dayal's mother, but The Affair, I did 2 whole years. I did 8 or 9 episodes of that. So just like every other actor, you get an agent and then you audition, and that's how you get. Though I will say that The Resident was a straight offer. I didn't audition for it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So Big Sick was one big thing. Then I think Marvel Cinematic Universe was one of your biggies as well. So share some experiences from that.
Oh, Marvel came about during pandemic, actually, which was a strange and difficult time for everybody. And on this very couch that I sit is where I did the audition from, and we were the first South Asian family in the Marvel universe. Kamala Khan was the first Muslim American superhero, and I think that I'm very proud of that show, even though we only done one season, and then we did The Marvels, which was the movie. I think that it's something that I'm very proud of, because we really shifted the culture there, and we showed mainstream America a Muslim American family leading their lives. We showed Eid, we showed Mehndi ceremonies, and Kamala was the first Muslim American superhero. So I think that in the landscape of American TV, Marvel took a chance, which was wonderful, and we really shifted the culture a little bit there for a minute.
Beautiful. So, you being in New York City, and it's the cinematic capital of the world, there are a lot of avenues. You've been into Hollywood, you've been into American films, and as an Indian American there, I'm sure there's a huge wave going on with Mayor Mamdani coming in, and I had heard all kinds of mixed comments, but as a resident, what's your take on how's it going in New York City?
Mayor Mamdani is Mira Nair's son, and I have known Mira for a very long time, and I've actually met Mayor Mamdani when he was a high schooler, and I think that he has really doing a fantastic job. I feel very proud. I think he is the first mayor since I've lived here for 35 years who has truly understood the pulse of New York City, and that it is not living in the 1% who live in high rises in Manhattan, but it is in its bread and butter working class communities, which are very multi-ethnic. New York City lived in its working class Black, Latino, and multiracial communities, including Indian, and he has understood the pulse of that city. That's what makes our city tick, and I think he's doing a fantastic job. Yeah.
Wonderful. So I would like to draw viewers' attention to American political drama, since we just talked about politics, and you have done the TV series Madam Secretary.
Yeah. I just did one episode where I played the Prime Minister of India. And I can't quite remember the plot point now, but I think it was, as usual, I want to say a conflict between India and Pakistan that the US was trying to solve. Yeah, but I can't comment too much on it because I had a very small role and just played the Prime Minister. What I can comment more on is This Tempting Madness, which I'm very, very pleased to announce that we have a date, and that the movie will be released on June 12th. In the theater, and at the same time, as is these days, will also be on a platform. So I hope everybody, goes to the theater on June 12th or orders it on your platform. It's Simone and it's Suraj Sharma, who was the lead in Life of Pi, and he's been in a number of other things. And it's Austin Stowell, who's, I think, on NCIS, and myself, and a number of other wonderful actors. And it's a very riveting psychological drama, and touches on the confluence of where mental health meets, the psychological abuse and mental health, and the connection to that, especially how much women struggle with that sort of thing.
But what is that temptation towards?
So I think that if you see what is her temptation towards, I think that when it's based on a true story. She's married to this gentleman, and she is the victim of some serious psychological abuse and physical abuse, and it meets at the confluence of mental illness and abusive behavior. And yet you're tempted, right, to stay with the person you're married to try and make it work. So I think perhaps the title came from that. I didn't write it, so I don't know where the title came from, but it makes complete sense that the title would come from that. Yeah.
You have played a recurring role as Priya Ullah in seasons 4 and 5 of The Affair.
I was on The Affair for two seasons.
And in 2020, you voiced one of the many counselors named Jerry.
Jerry, that's right. Yes.
Soul.
Yes, that's correct. And Soul, I think, went on to win quite a few awards, and I really enjoyed doing that part. It was one of the counselors who you meet in the afterlife. So Jamie Foxx's character dies, and then he meets me and several other people in the afterlife. And Priya was a very interesting character to play. She was very tough, and it was and she didn't want her son to be with this white American woman, and did not deem her son to be good enough. I mean, the woman to be good enough, as many of our Asian mothers can be like that a little bit. And but it was it was a great role. I really enjoyed playing Priya.
So you played the role of a South Asian mother, as you said, about 14, 15 times at least. What is one that Asian character or that typical Indian mother that you feature every time you are into that role? What is it that's firm pillar as a mother that keeps you there as a strong face of mother in all of these?
You have to ask the people who hired me. No, I don't know why they think I. But I think that one through line for all the characters that I've played is that South Asian mothers are very protective, and the children tend to be a little less independent than say people just who are born and raised in this culture, and but they're also so it's much more family oriented and much more protective. And I think that the first generation who's born here always struggles with that with parents, and so a lot of the scripts I've been part of rather have been showing that struggle of what it means to be born and raised here versus your mother who came from another country.
That is so true. That's life of a typical next gen, I would say.
Yes.
Show how to succeed as an ethnically ambiguous actor.
Yes.
This film had over 30 characters in and off Broadway at the Castillo Theatre.
It was a play actually that I wrote with over 30 characters. Yes.
30 characters long play. Show how to succeed as an ethnically ambiguous actor.
Wow. Right. Well, because I was always considered very ethnically ambiguous, and no one knew what to do with me, and no one knew how to cast me, and so out of the frustration of that journey, I wrote this play with another person, and it started as a stand-up monologue, and then we took it all the way to off-Broadway. Yes. And 30 characters, 80 minutes, and it basically depicted my struggle to become a successful working actor in America.
30 years of long journey, how do you feel after 3 decades of acting in US of A?
That's a very good question. I still have some gas left in the tank. I'd like to try new things. I'd like to write. I'm a decent writer. I'd like to produce. I'd like to break out of doing mother roles. So I still have some things that I want to accomplish. Yes.
Beautiful. And we are looking forward to the next part of your journey as well.
Thank you.
This very movie that is coming up with Simon.
Yes. Called This Tempting Madness, and it'll be open on June 12th. Yes.
Madness. Yes.
Yes.
I'm tempted towards watching. More about what this madness is.
I hope so. I hope your viewers watch it. Yeah. Thank you so much.
More about one last thing before you.
Sure.
Tell me a little more about your American romantic comedy film, When Harry Tries to Marry.
That was a very long time ago. It was right after Little Zizou, and it was a small independent rom-com that was made half in America and half in India. And it kind of the title is self-explanatory. He was made to meet the girl to marry, but he also liked somebody else. Yeah.
Okay. So last but not the least, what's your message to all the viewers of YoIndiaTV and a lot of Gen Z who is taking inspiration from you to be creative, be good artists, catch Broadway or catch Hollywood, and who are also somewhat ambiguous because of the circumstances?
Right. I think you just have to keep working, work hard. Gen Z is very lucky. They have Instagram and TikTok and Substack, and we didn't have any of this. We had to go from door to door putting our picture under the door, and we knew that it was going to get probably not looked at. So I would say create your own work till somebody notices you, And I would say, in general, to our Indian American community, that let's stay strong and productive, and we've contributed a lot to America, and we're going to continue to do that. Immigrants make the country great.
Wonderful. That was definitely.